Good morning, everyone. It's Rich. How are you doing today? And thank you for joining me for today's reading of Our Daily Bread. Today is Monday, January 19th. It's cold and snowing. Today's Bible verses that the reading is surrounding is Acts chapter 10, 30 through 35, and 39 through 43. God does not show favoritism, but accepts from every nation the one who fears him and does what is right. Acts 10, 34 and 35. Oh my goodness. Sorry, everyone. It's one of those kind of mornings. From every nation. London is a cosmopolitan city with people from many nations living side by side. The coming together of people from around the world can bring richness, including amazing food and challenges. For instance, I was saddened that friends from one European country felt they were least respected in London. Because their country had been admitted to the European Union more recently. They felt overlooked, blamed for problems, and resented for the jobs they secured. Since God doesn't show favoritism, neither should we. He breaks down barriers between people. We see his spirit at work in Peter's vision while praying on the rooftop, and how Peter was called to minister to Cornelius, a God-fearing Gentile. God helped Peter evaluate the Jewish regulations about not associating with Gentiles. The apostle listened and went to Cornelius' home to share the good news of Jesus. He said, "I now realize how true it is that God does not show favoritism, but accepts from every nation the one who fears him and does what is right." Acts 10 through 34 and 35. Those who follow Jesus are called to love and serve all those who are made in the image of Christ. Part of that mission is to not show favoritism for people from certain nations or with particular skin colors. May we learn to seek justice and to defend the oppressed as God guides us. All right. There's two questions at the end of every one of them, as we know. And here's my answers to them. Put in the comments, what are yours? Why do you think God breaks down barriers between people of different nations? Because we're all made in God's image. We're all put here by God. Why would he show any favoritism? I mean, why? Okay, and the second one is, how could you speak out for the oppressed? Is anyone oppressed these days? I mean, really? I mean, not in my country. In the United States, they say, oh, we're oppressed. Nobody's oppressed here. We all have the same opportunities as the next guy. The racism and all of that comes from here and here, not from God. Part of being more godlike is that the color of your skin, where you're Christ-like, sorry. The color of your skin, where you were born, none of that matters. Okay? To me. Or at least the way I see it. None of that matters. It's all relative. You know what I mean? we're all in the same boat. All of us are. Every single one of us, whether we're living in a 5-bedroom ghetto mansion or we're living in a 600-bedroom Hollywood mansion or a 1-bedroom apartment or a house made with sticks and mud. We're all in the same thing. We're all going to end up the same way. None of us are going to live through all this stuff. We're all going to die at the end. So what makes one person better than the next? Nothing. Did I go too far off? How could you speak out for the oppressed? Easy. How could you? How couldn't you? Okay, now the Bible verses, let's go to the Bible because my mind's just going to keep going and make less and less sense every word I say. So let's go to what makes sense, the Bible. This is all based on Acts chapter 10, verses 30 and 35, and verses 39 through 43. Oh my goodness. So here we go. Acts 10, chapters 30 through 35. So Cornelius said, 4 days ago, I was fasting until this hour. And at the 9th hour, I prayed in my house, and behold, a man stood there. Stood before me in bright clothing and said, Cornelius, your prayer has been heard, and your alms are remembered in the sight of God. Send therefore to Joppa and call Simon here, whose surname is Peter. He is lodging in the house of Simon, a tanner by the sea. When he comes, he will speak to you. So I sent to you immediately, and you have done well to come. Now therefore, we are all present before God to hear all the things commanded you by God. Then Peter opened his mouth and said, in truth I perceive that God shows no partiality, but in every nation whoever fears him and works righteousness is accepted by him. All right, now let's go down to, verses 39 through 43. And we are witnesses of all things which he had did to both in the land of the Jews and in Jerusalem, whom they killed by hanging on a tree. Him God raised up on the 3rd day and showed him openly, not to all the people, but to witnesses chosen before by God, even to us who ate and drank with him after he arose from the dead, and he commanded us to preach to the people and to testify, that is, he who has ordained by God to be judge of the living and dead, to him all the prophets witness that through his name whoever believes in him will receive remission of sins. We're all sinners. We're all destined to die. When we die, we take nothing with us. Okay? So, why do we oppress anybody else? Why do we feel that we're better than anyone else? Because we're all going to end exactly the same. Being more Christ-like means we have to be more like Christ. Okay? God doesn't show any favoritism towards anyone, no matter who they are, what they look like, where they come from, where they live, how they live. None of it. Why do we? Something to think about, y'all. Have a great day and God bless. And always remember, God loves you. So do I.